Hey guys, this one is going to be the third part of this video tutorial. And in the previous section I was explaining to you I was explaining up to you what's really happening. So basically at this point what really happens is basically once all the value is evaluated by the API, now I'm going to assign this to my model. Very nice. Just by doing that, so what happens when you assign any value to this this scope variable, it will be reflected into our HTML. So basically now it will be binded into, for example, right here, this beautiful code. The results in English would be bind with the actual value. The same for the Spanish and same for the French. So basically now if I run this one, well, see, no, actually you see the actual value. That is the non-API part of the code. That's what I explained. And of course, this API is very flexible. That when I started writing stuff like this, I'm thinking about putting all this code into a GitHub, and then maybe people would contribute. My goal is to have this to every languages of the world. I don't know whether it will be possible. I mean, if I put this into a GitHub, and maybe people can easily modify this API to any languages they want. So, for example, let's look into the API a little bit. So this API just I just defined a JavaScript constructor function. For example, this language right here is just the ISO language code. And when you call this, if there is no language undefined, then by default it's going to be English. And I define some static the constant right here that I need, and I have some array, word list and word list 2, and basically calling initialize 20s. I'm initializing these two array by calling these two function right here. And I need to do one more validation here in my API, because I want to make sure any code, any input abbreviation, it has to be valid. It has to be valid from this course, like from this language ISO code abbreviation. For example, if it pass AB or whatever. I haven't done that part yet. So of course, like if you want to extend, for example, let's say you are a German and you would like to include Dutch into it. So basically you will have to modify in a couple of places. I wish there was a better, there must be a better way to write this one. So basically I need all let's say you would like to extend this code into, I have up to 19, like I need this value. I actually needed actual hard-coded value, for example, only up to here. So let's say you would like to include, I don't know, maybe German, Dutch, whatever abbreviation for Dutch. I don't know, I have to look at that. And if it is Dutch, that might be wrong, so don't. And you're just going to say word list, and then basically set this array with all the corresponding value from 1 to 20, 19 here. That's the only change you have to make in this method. Initialize single digit number, and then of course initialize 20s is like, so this one is basically from 10 to 90, 10, 20, 30, 40, going all the way to 90 for the different languages. For example, I have for English here, and Spanish here, and French. And once those two are done, and like there is this method, it's called words in million. So how do you say millions in, let's say, in your language? For example, in English, millions; in Spanish, millones; and in French, I don't know, I won't be able to pronounce this word in how the French people pronounce it. So so you will be modifying this one, let's say just in the same example, Dutch example, maybe they might say millions as a whatever, you know, this is millions in Dutch, let's say, and break. That's one modification you have to do in this API if you wanna excuse me. And the same thing for the words in thousand. How do you say thousands in particular language? You know, like in the example that I have, it only involves 3 languages: English, Spanish, and French. Whatever language you want, you can modify it. In words in billion, how the billion is said in different languages. For example, this English, Spanish, and I think, you know, it's kind of got switch over here. This is Spanish and this is French. Yeah, that was a bug, I think. Let me save it. That changed. And then how do you see 100 in different languages? That is it. Once you set it all, and then now basically excuse me, now basically you can start using this API. Then you are done on this API side. And you know, of course, if you want to extend this example, let's say, then all you have to do is just basically, you know, call, now you can call your language. You can just create a variable here, and then maybe Dutch evaluated text value for Dutch or whatever language that is your language, and you can call this, you know, our API, this service, and then call convert number to text and pass the right parameter. Just the input, which is input number and whatever the DOS abbreviation language. That's it. Doing that, you know, and then of course doing that, you will be able to display Dutch language, you know, conversion into the HTML also. That's it. Shouldn't be that bad. It's doing that. So this method, this API could be easily extended. And of course, you know, what really happens in terms of API is, you know, so it always, right now I'm starting with the billions, let's say. So basically pretty easy. Basically I'm using the modulo operator and basically doing the division. First finding out the quotient and the remainder in both of these right here. Right, basically from here I just grabbing the floor math function and dividing the number by the billion. And if there is any quotient, means like, you know, that I know it's a billion, that number is 1 billion. Otherwise I need to grab all the remainder, so this would give me the remainder. And then logic is pretty simple. Okay, if the number is less than billion, then hey, maybe there is another function to write millions. This guy knows how to write that. And this guy, otherwise I'm going to go ahead and start saying, alright, if the number, now the quotient is like at least 3 digit, mean like in 100, then, you know, then conversion is pretty easy. And I have this value right here, and then I'm going to say to write 100 text. This guy knows how to write from, you know, maybe 100 to 99. So I give that task to this other guy. If it is 2, there is other guy who knows how to write the double-digit text. Give that responsibility to him. And this means, and this else means basically I have a single digit, then just write it down. Same thing, this exactly the same kind of logic, all the, like writing millions and hundreds, same logic applies basically. Very simple. I wrote this API, I don't know, a while back, and then, you know, I decided, hey, I would like to, you know, kind of use it in the perspective of AngularJS. Anyway, that is all I wanted to share, and I definitely would like to put this code into GitHub, and then, you know, everybody can actually contribute. Maybe we can write the for the all languages of the world, you know. So, and by the way, to know the different, of course, you know, I don't know, beside English and Spanish, I don't know all the other languages. Like to write that in French, I went to Google